Okay, this is a short recap of today's morning trading session of Bund, FGBL, German Bund. And first we take a look at my hypos and my outlook for today's Bund. Today morning before the cash open, before 9 o'clock, I said that from my analysis, we see that if we can go and build value above 172.74 around here, if we can build value here, there's the opportunity for the long with the range target 172.80 to 91. And also the home run opportunity for possible trend continuation if OTF trader are coming in for a bigger long move. If the market stays in between this area, but also the 61, where the buying pivot is at this level here and the LVN, then we see a range market or more probability for range market. I'm looking for the range long, and if the market can build value below the 172.61, this is this area here, below this zone here, then I expect go for the range short. But beware, this is against the big picture of a long trend in the long term, so you have to beware to take your profits as soon as you see buying absorption or quick buying rejection of other traders. So this is my not so preferred trade for the day, because the risk reward isn't maybe only a 1-1. Okay, then let's have a look what happens today. Here is the trading screen. We see after the open, I'll show you. Here I'll show you. We see after the open, the market see an absorption on the downside, and you see that we test my 2-day list at 172.71 and also started to build value above the POC of 74. So my hypo number 1 was running. I entered in this zone, you can see it here. I enter on my 30-second chart. I enter as they build value on top of it. This is a wedge consolidation. I entered with the cheap, thinking to get in with the cheap price at 172.75. Then we see the market pushed higher, and we see a little pullback to the VWAP, where also was a at the time LVN, and you see market participants immediately start to buy again. You see here in the delta, and you see they pushed it higher but could not extend the last high. So we're getting a little bit like a double top, and they failed the second time to make a higher high. For me at this moment, I reduced size and traded only one contract. So for me, there was still opportunity as long the buyer can reject this area, but they couldn't. So I decided to go out on scratch. And we see at the moment, I was thinking, okay, we can make this through auction, which we were in yesterday. Because yesterday, this was the upper auction. From 73 up to 84 and 87, this was the POC, the naked VPOC of yesterday. So they could not make it higher than 81, and then they fail. So for me, this was the moment, if we leave this auction process and go dive deeper into lower areas. And the next auction was the area from around 70 to 60, 61. The moment this happens, the market, untypical for FGBL, for the Bund, they went down so quick I could not get the short because the pullback was only within a 30-second period. For me, too fast. I'm not the quickest mind guy, so I need some time, I need some pullback, and so the pullback was too fast for me. But anyway, this was set for the short scenario. And then we reached this area of 61, reached the area, always talking from data from the yesterday. My orientation is from taken from yesterday, the auction process. So we see Then the excess on the downside. Very important. This was a play, for me, a long play. And you see it in the delta. After we fixed down, they tried to fix this level down, tried to push deeper, hit the bid. They got the quick rejection here once, and then the second time fixing here and here. So you see here the rejection in the delta. So means we have a divergence and also a double rejection on the downside. So this about here was the re-enter of the auction taken from yesterday. So if you played it, your opportunity was to get into it conservative after the double rejection and delta, after knowing in the big picture, after technically seeing an excess, to get in around here at 61, 62, 63. Again, I was in talks at the moment, so again missed this trade. But if you miss it, going back to the screen and see that it's running, you're not jumping after it. So you're a good trader. You have discipline. You don't run after the price is already in motion. So you see that it's going back. We run through the auction, even try to build above volume, and got the next rejection. At that moment, I said, I'm not gonna look for a short because we see the auction was processed, ran through it, but we also get an excess and an almost like a quick turn in the bond market with a lot of power of the buyers. So for me, even though there was the pullback to this LVN of the day at this moment, we can see it here. Have a look. Take a look at this. At this moment here, when you were thinking about trading a short trade here, what the hell? Where is it? Here it is. You see, this was the LVN. This was the level that separates those two distribution of the 2-day intraday. Funny thing, fun fact, you see that they also match totally the yesterday distribution, which I took for my big pick preparation. So for me, at this moment, technically, this was a moment for a short, but from the intraday bias now, not, because we had the excess on the downside. So I said, I'm not looking for the short here. I waited that the prices go back to look in this upper auction and got either rejected or when going back to this LVN from the upside, initiative bias setting in, but they didn't. You see this? A little bit risk taken out, trying to, but when pushing again back to the auction, prices fell down. So we see another excess. This is also like a transition trade. You see, they leave the auction, look back to the upper auction, and got rejected. So back to the other auction. At this moment, I said, when this is happening, and in my recap, I said that this zone here, in between the 62 and 74 area, the 62 and 74 area is no man's land, because in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the whole distribution of yesterday, we see more probability for range day. What happened? As I said this in the live recording in our session, this now is expect range market. What happened after this? We see range market. Another excess, a little bit news driven, but we stay in the range market. So this is my recap for today's FGBL German Bund session. And you always welcome to look at my morning outlooks and make your own analysis and see what's happening, because you always can always look at the recap and compare it with my hypos and with my analysis, and you see how the way I think and the way I manage the markets. So good luck and see you next time. Bye from Munich. This is Anton Höpfel, MUG trader for Manapa Trading.